And downstairs we saw a thing moving back and forth, so little caterpillar tracks at the side, that's what it's
Yeah. Do you have any idea what your polymer is?
Very small. Yeah, very, very small. I think it's that small.
Yeah, I think
I think it's almost it's almost modeled off my polymer.
Oh, yeah. A long time ago, a very long time ago. So what work are you doing on it at the moment?
At the moment, this is one of the instruments. You can come up and have a look at it.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
So you're interested in astronomy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. This is it's called 2DF. It's fibre optic positioning. It's the top end feed for a spectrograph, so you can look at 400 objects at once. What it's putting out there is, and it's actually just come off the dog that week ago and had a few problems with it. There's a little, I haven't got a torch in my pocket. There are little buttons with a magnet on both of them, and there's two fibre optics glass fibres in the end. So there's normally a prism, this one's prism's broken off, a little 1mm prism, so the starlight comes down, hits the prism and is fed down the fibre.
Right.
So this robot, what it does is sets up, it's just setting up a circle at the moment, but that field is normally a star field. Imagine that plate is what you look at on the sky. It's 2 degrees of sky, so it's about a quarter, about 4 times the size of a full moon. So imagine a full moon will be about that round on that plate. So it's about that much sky. So they can pick 400 objects that they want to look at simultaneously in that area. There's 2 plates. The robot visually sets up one plate, and the light, this whole instrument is mounted up on top of the telescope.
Right.
Minus the orange platform.
Mm-hmm.
And so the light hits the main mirror and shone up underneath and is focused onto the other plate. This plate tumbles into position. So after the robot sets the field up, they just slew to the next object and start exposing.
So you have to set that up, particularly to what area of the sky you're looking at.
So
okay.
This thing's just flat out just setting up and pulling apart the next field. They'll usually track for 50 minutes to an hour across the sky. Meanwhile, it takes this 40-50 minutes to set up the next field. So it finishes setting the field, they just tumble the plates, move to the new part of the sky and start tracking again.
So what sort of length of time is each exposure that you take?
Up to an hour or so generally. For its original work it was
so you're tracking the movement through the sky in an equivalent stationary position.
Yeah, so they'll follow. That field is only valid for a few hours as it looks through the atmosphere. It distorts the field a little bit, so they've got to set the field up. So if it's rainy, they'll set up a field for a few hours' time. So even in bad weather, it's setting up a field ready to go just in case it could clear at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Continuing job all.
Yeah, so this thing's just working away up there all the time, just setting up, putting away, and getting ready for the next field. So no, just at night it's being used, but all through the night it's just busily setting up and throwing away a field. So its first job, it did you can look it up on the web, the Galaxy Redshift survey. They surveyed a chunk of sky to the north and a chunk to the south. They measured the position of 230,000 galaxies, and from that they made the first 3-dimensional map of what space looked like, how it was the structure of space, and they proved that it wasn't all evenly spread. It had structure to it. And it's the same structure that the radio telescope guys could see in their microwave background. There's structure in that, and the same imprint is right through space. It's very different. And then, look, the more they look, the more other things they find they're interested in it.
Yes.
And now it's doing galactic archaeology, so they realised that within these galaxies like our Milky Way, they should have all been formed at the same time, but there's old and new stars mixed in there, so where the heck do they all come from? So they realise that whole galaxies have been colliding with each other, and I think Andromeda Galaxy is heading for our Milky Way at the moment. And so that will leave a mixture of stars from Andromeda.
Is that what the Magellanic Clouds are about? They're leftovers from collision?
I think they're just nearby galaxies. They're just rocky galaxies.
Yeah, they're just not far away.
Yeah, they're our two nearest galaxies. Two nearest,
how many different positions can you fit on a plate?
Anything, yeah. It's just a magnetic plate, so you can just put it
right,
anywhere.
okay.
So yeah, the astronomers will come up with their field that they want to look at. They'll put all the coordinates in, and they'll have a whole set of fields for their week or whatever they've got on the telescope. And
where was this device made at a university?
Yeah,
wow.
Half here and half in Sydney. We've got a section in Sydney. So it was a world first. It's been from the late 90s, I think. I think there's a Sloan have a very similar Sloan observatory, have a similar Sloan survey, have a similar sort of system, and it evolved from the predecessors to this. They used to drill plates out, and they drill a hole everywhere where they want to look at an object and plug the fibre in. And then they found they could load that plate in and measure all these things at once. And then it evolved into this robotic positioning thing. And it's one of our
Okay. So they're that specific to the night, each plate, are they?
That was,
Yeah, right.
Because you're only getting light. So
Yes. Pinprick holes in as well.
Yeah, and look, even that plate is only valid. It's only valid for 3 or 4 hours, really.
Yeah.
As it looks through the atmosphere, you're looking through a wedge of.
Yes.
The atmosphere is thicker, on one side than the other, so there's actually 2 rotating prisms underneath there that sort of counteract the prismatic effect of the atmosphere.
So you get more time.
Yeah, it just sort of counteracts it, depending on how far over they're looking, But,
right.
Yeah. Sometimes they'll track an object right across the sky, and they'll track it for 3 hours, and they set up they have a fresh plate set up. They just tumble and they keep tracking. Yeah, sometimes they're very faint objects. They might want to track it all night. Other times they'll get their information in half an hour or an hour.
So is there a big time factor in replacing this plate or taking that one out and putting this one in?
No, in this situation, the robot just sets up a new plate.
What is it?
Yeah, so
Double ended. Yes. Okay.
So there's no time lost. While they're reading out that image, they just slew the telescope. This thing tumbles at the same time. They'll basically finish reading out and they just start work again. And so there's no. Until you see it tumble, you go, oh, it tumbles, but no, it does a bit.
This yoke here looks like it's magnetically held up.
No, it's just sitting on the main telescope. It's just sitting on oil pads.
Oh, so it's the same as the pan.
I think it's very much
That
the
was
same.
mercury, I think. Palomar was mercury.
Okay, there's some mercury girdles in the mirrors. That about 300 tonne of it. Yeah, it's just sitting on oil pads. It's equatorial mount, so it's tilted back at 31 degrees, which is the latitude of the background. But it makes it really simple to drive because you just need to, to track an arc across the sky. You just need to rotate it.
Yes.
That's why you got hard hats on, because
We might have a bird's nest dropping us or something.
yeah.
Is the mirror covered up right now? Is
Yeah,
it?
the pedals are closed.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so the mirror's just in that round section there, and
Yeah.
the box above it is a covering over it.
So what do you do with the data? Like, does it take long for people to analyse it? Or
Yeah, look, they were
depends what
thinking it
you're
was
doing?
going to be years and years of work to analyse the data that that they took in, but
I suppose they're selective as to what data they look at. And,
yeah, well they do.
ignore-
The data's all there. It's actually in the public domain if you wanted to make use of it. A lot of it.
Oh, really?
It's in this redshift survey. It's yeah, it's public knowledge. I think usually they sort of keep a few things secret when they're working on something, but it's generally all for public knowledge. Yeah.
I heard there was a supernova in Scorpius recently, right in the tip of the tail.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
I know about that, but yeah, when 1987, that was pretty exciting. There's a few things were done very quickly to try and get some information off that.
Excellent.
Yeah, and it's cold in here, you know, it's all about the dome, the same temperature as the outside.
Yeah,
So it never used to be air conditioned, but it was always just closed up whenever it was warmer outside than in. They just had ventilation fans going through, but now they had put provision to air condition it, so now we can sort of predictively cool it a little bit if it's expect some cold weather coming. It also helps, we can dehumidify it a little bit, so if you've got a cold mirror and it dews up on you, you can't do anything about it. It's 16 tonne the mirror weighs, so it's about the figure. Solid now. Yeah, well, they're just doing some work on the shuttle, so they're just opening it up. Yeah.
So how long have you been working here on it?
18 years, I think.
Oh, really? Wow.
So what's your specialty?
Oh, this thing isn't my little baby.
All right.
I'm electronics and instrumentation, and
Okay.
so a bit of mechanical and some electronic work. What's your sort of background? What do you?
I'm an upholsterer.
Oh, really? Good on you.
No scientific background whatsoever. I've only just recently become interested in astronomy in the past year. So.
Oh, I've got a very varied background. I suppose longest time has been in farming and
Right. Okay. Yeah.
crop growing.